What up, Bulls Nation? We're back. We got a live CHGO Bulls podcast coming up right now. How do we feel about the various festivities and events at the All-Star Weekend for the NBA? And some interesting things from Adam Silver. Plus, speaking of Adam Silver, the NBA expansion could be all but a formality at this point. If and when this happens, who on the Bulls' young and turned-over roster should they prioritize protecting when you can only protect 8 players on your roster for an NBA expansion draft? We will talk about all of that next. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome into the CHGO Bulls podcast. Coming to you live from our CHGO Xfinity Loft here in downtown Chicago. CHGO Bulls presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app with code CHGO365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Thanks for being here. Hope everybody had a lovely All-Star weekend and All-Star break. Whether you tuned into the festivities or not, it was a fun weekend. I'm Peck, Bulls _Peck. That's Big Dave. Bow. EWL Sports. Will, the GOAT, Gottlieb, Will _Gottlieb, and our guy, King of the Controls, one and only Joey C. What up, Joey?
Got to tell you guys, I missed this view. This view right here. Mm-hmm. And I see 3 full cups right now.
Three full cups?
Cup is full. I see 3 overflowing cups
Cup
right now.
runneth over.
Rejuvenated.
Well,
good to see you guys.
We're looking back at a 32-ounce cup of love there, Joey C.
I'm a tall boy over here.
Oh, we see it, sir.
Big gulps, huh? Well, see you later. Shout out to everybody hanging out with in that chat. Hit the like button if you're hanging out with us on YouTube. The like button's free. Shout out to Trick Daddy Dex, Tony, David, Kimberly. Wait, Kimberly, what's going on?
Kimberly.
Mike Elm, and Ivan Rodriguez. Hey, shout out to you hanging out with us from, sent back from Mexico. Go Chicago Bulls. I hope you had a lovely time in Mexico.
I do too.
I was actually chatting with a nice fellow at the Houston Airport bar on my way home Sunday.
That's a flex.
Who was on his way back from Cabo. And I was like, oh, how nice for you.
Yeah, very nice.
Texas wasn't bad, though.
You felt like you went to Cabo, though.
I mean, comparatively speaking, but I heard that it was like, springtime temperatures in Chicago while I was gone. It was still warmer down there in southern Texas, which I appreciated. But, I'm happy that I came home and it wasn't freezing. That's like when I came home after the winter holidays.
Yeah.
And I was at O'Hare waiting for my Uber.
It's like, welcome.
And I almost froze to death in about 5 minutes because I didn't pack a coat when I went down there.
Welcome back. No, man, it's great to be back. Great to see y'all.
Goat, did you were in and around some snow on your All-Star break?
I was, but I'm glad to be back in the not snowy area. Although I do feel like it's one of those just early spring fake outs. Where
it's a false start for sure.
It's a false start. It's a false start. It's going to get cold again. I'm prepared for it.
Yeah, 5 yards on us if we believe that this is the start of spring. All right? No, false start. Temperatures.
David, I know you were looking forward to a little brain break over All-Star Weekend.
Yeah.
I know you always keep your All-Star Weekend whereabouts private.
Yeah, as all of them.
You're an international man of mystery. But regardless of where you spent your time, did you enjoy yourself?
I had an amazing time.
Nice.
I didn't do too much, but it was an amazing reset. And it was great.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, please.
But I was just going to add that it really is an amazing reset. Like, just it's 1 week off, but it really goes a long way.
Yeah, it does. It does.
And it's a great compartmentalizing, I think, of a very long season.
You don't know how much you're doing, and how hard you're working until you're not doing it.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh man, like wait a minute, like this part was stressed, and this part was too much, and like all these feelings and things, like you don't know what you're doing because you're literally in it.
Yeah.
So you're just doing it because this is how it's supposed to be done, and we're trying to do it to the highest level. And hopefully we succeed in y'all eyes when we're trying to do it that way. But, yeah, we're trying our hardest up here. And we just don't know that that's what we're doing sometimes. It just becomes the thing we are doing. And so when we're not doing it and you feel that thing fall off you and peel away from you, and all this stuff. It's like, oh man. And then you get to that point in that time away where you say, all right, I'm ready to go. All right, we got to get back.
I mean, honestly, the stretch, the last stretch to the finish line of getting to All-Star break for the Bulls was nuts.
Yeah,
I mean,
Oh,
shout out
my
to
God.
everybody who tuned into a couple of crazy weeks of Bulls coverage.
Thank y'all.
3 big trades with 3 at that point franchise players that happened in the span of a couple of days. A lot of new faces, a lot of new players, and you get to watch a handful of games with said new player. The 2 weeks leading up to All-Star break for the Bulls was utter chaos.
Yeah, correct.
And it was fun, but it was also like, wow, that was a lot.
Yeah, it's a whole lot, and you don't realize it's a lot, but it was a lot, and we'll do it again because we are here for y'all.
Yeah, and now we have this 27-game stretch from here until the end of the regular season.
Yeah.
Between now and April 12th is our regular season finale, so we got less than 2 months to go.
Less than 2 months, man.
And jam-packed with a lot of games to evaluate what the heck this team should be doing next and which players should be involved. And we were going to get to that in a minute on today's show, speaking of who should be involved. But first, general thoughts on All-Star Weekend. First of all, shout out to Modis.
Yes.
His team won the Rising Stars tournament. He was the one hoisting that trophy.
He was.
Saw a couple of sick little monsters on display.
Oh, my God.
Very encouraging to see. Next step, All-Star game, sir.
Yes, do the game, Amadis Buzelis. I can't wait for that to happen. It was great. Honestly, I thought the whole Rising Stars thing was really, really good. And I really enjoyed the games, and I felt like they set a tone for how games were gonna be played for the weekend. But it was great to see Modis feel that feeling of winning in any kind of capacity, especially being on the team that he's on. It's great to see him like that, and great to see him with teammates and just showing love to all of them. But you also mentioned, man, some of those moves, man, like the fake and then the spin with the lefty layup.
Ooh, that lefty spin was nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The dunk that he had, increíble. Like, it was awesome stuff happening out there, man. And it was just great for him to be among that with these other kind of, players out there. And then walking away with an actual victory was cool.
I abstained from watching All-Star Weekend.
That is your right.
I feel kind
sir.
of like how Matt must have felt when we did the Derrick Rose night. Just didn't want to do it. Wasn't gonna. I just feel like I went to cover the Bulls not the Bulls All-Star, but DeMar when he was in the All-Star game in Salt Lake City.
Flex.
And it was like, it's cool to be around there. It's like everybody, it's a who's who of people. You can like see all the players and stuff. It's fun to like witness that from an in-person perspective.
Sure.
But it was also some of the least competitive, uninteresting basketball that I've ever seen. And I basically spent the entire second half just like walking around the concourse because I just was like, this is a waste of my time. It's just like, it's none of the things that I actually like about basketball, which is like high level competition, strategy.
Yeah.
And it isn't that. And so after that, I was just like, I think I'm good on All-Star Weekend.
Wow.
And so maybe it sounds like it was competitive. And if that is the case again in the future, and that really, it takes a, dramatic turn towards a more competitive environment, I'm not asking for them to be like Game 7 of the finals, playing through hamstring strains and risking Achilles tears. Like, I don't think that's what anybody wants. But can you just like compete a little bit and like play an actual game? The gimmicky stuff, like I think it's good that they're trying stuff. I'm just not that interested in watching it. If they go back to East-West, if it is more competitive, and if they have like high-level talent that's actually playing, I know there's been a lot of injuries. If the players take it more seriously, if the league takes it more seriously, I'll take it more seriously.
I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you on this one there, Goat.
I was about to say totally fair.
Go ahead and disagree with you.
But
that stuff was awesome that I was watching.
Yeah,
man.
and it sounds like it was better.
It was
Joey
awesome.
was texting. Like, it sounds like it was better. I'm glad to
it
hear
was
that.
better. Like, they cared. Like, from the jump, they cared. Wemby, and the whole time I was watching it, let me talk to Joey C.
Yeah,
the whole time I was watching Joey C, it was Wemby set the tone immediately. He had come for blood. He was coming to win. And after that first game, you heard Anthony Edwards say, Wemby set the tone. Like, oh, this is how we're going to be playing? Oh, this is what we're going to be doing? Cool. They were putting in all kinds of effort, and you saw stars do star stuff, and you saw defense being played. You saw sets being run out there. They were really trying out there in that game, man, to just – and again, like Goat saying, it wasn't Achilles tears and hamstring injury and things like that. But it's like, dude, you all are the best of the best. Show them why you are the best
Why
of
do you
the
deserve
best.
to be here?
Yes, and they – without a doubt, showcase that.
So, like, I know there's probably a lot of, like, out-of-shape dudes in suits today giving themselves, like, pats on the back for, like, the format worked. We solved the All-Star game, where it's, like, it's such BS, dude. Like, It all comes back to the players. Big Dave, I cannot agree with you more. Wemby came out there with a snarl on his face.
Yes, he did.
And halfway through that first round robin game, when they realized that, oh, man, I'm not just going to be able to, maybe I should get a little dunk in here right now. Wemby wasn't having any of that.
None of it.
He swatted, the first couple baskets away.
Yes, he did.
And then they were shooting threes. And then they were like, oh, man, are we going to lose? So it all just kind of, cascaded on itself. And then Ant-Man took the cue from Wemby and started doing it. And then Kawhi started taking the cue on the Stripes team and started doing it.
My
Dude,
God.
Kawhi was watching. Dude, it was like watching Oasis play Wonderwall in 1998. I was like, oh man, I forgot about this. I remember this guy. So bottom line is it comes back to your best players giving a damn. If your best players give a damn and want to be better than the other best players that are out there, all the other lower all-stars are going to try harder. The game will look cooler. And I'm not going to name check past generation stars that I don't think care about the All-Star game at all. Sure. But these ones that were in that game yesterday, Wemby, Ant-Man, and Kawhi specifically, and Jaylen Brown tried, didn't play great. Jamal Murray was trying too hard. I get it. Yeah. But those three guys, they set the tone, dude. And I thought I enjoyed myself.
I
thought it was
all
cool.
of it. Yeah, bro. I really enjoyed all of it, man. I was pleasantly surprised. It was one best I've seen in quite a long time.
Travis in the chat saying Kawhi been hooping this season.
He sure has.
And look, I also enjoyed the level of effort I saw from Wemby. I saw people on NBA Twitter kind of starting these columns of NBA players, NBA All-Stars who clearly decided recently to care or have always cared, and then a column of I still don't care.
Yeah.
And Wemby is the captain of the I Care team, essentially.
Yes, without a doubt.
I don't care who's Team World and who's Team USA. Yeah. Wemby's the captain of the I Care team. Yeah. But to Travis's point in the comments, we watched Kawhi also put up 30 in a 12-minute quarter, aka 12-minute game.
Yeah.
That just got me mad. It got me mad about Kawhi and all of the load management BS.
Oh,
look,
man.
I know, and you were just talking about all of the injuries and the soft tissue injuries specifically, all these players dealing with calves and hamstrings, and then the calves particularly leading to Achilles and more serious thing. I get all of that, and I don't know what it is. Maybe people have said it's just a faster, more physically demanding game than it was in decades and generations past, and that's why you're seeing it now. You've got to pull back on this 82-game season, and I'm open to hearing that argument.
Sure. But
when players are healthy and don't play because load management, because rest, I'm sorry, I still can't help but roll my eyes at it. I went there, I watched Kawhi go be the best basketball player on the planet for 12 quarters, and yes. He was an all-star reserve selection, essentially, from Adam Silver.
He was.
I think he kind of got snubbed in favor of LeBron in the initial all-star selections for the reserves. But, yes, okay, fine. Kawhi actually has been playing and playing well this season. But, it just makes me feel cheated out of how many games of watching Kawhi be great at basketball. And, meanwhile, Pablo Torre, bless his heart, is still digging deep in the aspiration stuff. When are we going to get the full story on that? But it's man, it just, it was sort of like a tease and a frustration of I agree, it was better.
It was better.
But it could still be better, and it still just made me think of other issues the league has to solve.
The other players just had to take the cues. Kawhi was picking off inbound passes.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
He was jumping transition lanes and grabbing steals. It's just everyone else just needs to get in line. And, frankly, I'm just going to say it, I just don't think it's been I don't think LeBron ever cared about the All-Star game the way that he probably should have throughout his career, where he does think it's just toss it off the glass.
Yeah.
I get a dunk, and then my slow-mo plays into the out credits into a commercial.
Correct.
That isn't what the All-Star game is about. And there were other guys there that tried to send a different message yesterday.
And again, I give Wemby all the credit in the world for that. And I hear your point, Matt, talking about Kawhi, and I think that he heard those things, and this is why he was out there doing what he did, and also playing for the home crowd as well. Playing at the Intuit Dome, which is amazing also, by the way. But I think all those guys heard it, and it took a while for them to get there. But like I tell you, hard head, soft ass. That's how it works. And so dudes have to feel it, and they kind of felt it. You know what I mean? Guys were questioning, oh, are you for real? Are you serious about here? You want to be out here? No, these are competitors at the end of the day. Somebody's got to bring it out of them. And Wemby, thank you to Wemby for being the younger generation and setting the tone of what I'm used to seeing out there is guys care and wanting to play, you know what I mean, and wanting to win. You saw it, And as soon as that happened, you saw everybody kind of fall in line. And that Devin Booker was going crazy out there too, man. Like all those guys wanted to play. And then it's having former President Obama and his family there in the front row. Like that stuff meant something to them players. They were trying to put on a show.
How great was him trolling Reggie in that interview?
Oh,
I mean, like,
by the team.
Well, Reggie.
Oh, we love beating Indiana.
That's our Chicago Prez right there.
I love beating Indiana.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
I'll tell you what, why don't we knock out a quick ad break? We'll come back on the other side, wrap up with a few more thoughts on All-Star. We can touch on three-point and dunk if we want, and then dive into the impending expansion of the NBA. 2 new teams. Bring back the Sonics. Bring back the like button. It never left. It's free. BRB.
Segway Peck mid-season 4.
CHGO Bulls is brought to you by Bet365. And right now, new customers, when you download their app and use code CHGO365 at signup, will get $200 in bonus bets when you place your first $5 bet on anything. Spreads, totals, futures, whatever you want. Basketball, hockey, whatever you want to bet on. Freaking ping pong, I don't know. But make a $5 bet on anything. And whether or not that bet wins or loses, it doesn't matter. You're going to get $200 in bonus bets either way. And you can use those bonus bets on just about everything on the site. Also, be sure to check out NBA Tip-Off Tuesdays. That's today. It is still the All-Star break. But so next Tuesday, keep in mind, place a qualifying same-game parlay bet with the safety net bet feature on Tuesday NBA games and get up to $10 in bonus bets even if the bet loses. Terms and conditions apply. Download that app. Use code CHGO365 at sign up to take advantage of that $5 bet for $200 in bonus bets when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Winter's here.
Ooh.
Don't feel like it, though, outside right now. You know, you could put your shorts on. I was out there like that a little earlier. Man, maybe tomorrow, too, because it might be in 60 degrees. But don't let it fool you. The 30s are coming. This is Chicago.
20s are
all
coming.
Right? What he said.
Come on now.
And you want to make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that you are warm, all right? And the only way you can do that is with Four Seasons, because they are awesome. Oh, Four Seasons, they guarantee same-day installation for all your heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, and generator needs, ladies and gentlemen, with no extra charge for nights, weekends, or holidays. Oh, you can save up to $4,000 on the furnace and comfort systems with Four Seasons heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric. Furnaces start at $39 a month, and furnace AC combos, $57 a month. So call them today. Save $50 from your trusted local experts. Visit FourSeasonsHeatingCooling.com for other special offers and money-saving coupons. It's FourSeasonsHeatingCooling.com.
CHGO Bulls rolls along Tuesday. It's still the All-Star break. Bulls back in action on Thursday, but we are back now. Kimberly asking where the Burks are. I thought about it. I'm talking about them birds. But it's going to dip back below 50 by the time we're leaving the office today.
Yeah.
50 is my rule.
Yeah.
But don't worry.
Teasers.
Those Burks were out all weekend long down there in Tejas. Shout out to the Texas crew.
We don't tease out here, man. When we bring them out, they out.
Did you think about wearing the Gams to work today?
I mean, when I was outside earlier doing stuff, you know, I had the Gams out, but I knew to put them away. I understood. It's just a tease. I don't tease myself.
Yeah.
Like once the Gams come out,
once they're out, they're out.
They out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That they got to break out of prison. I'm not going to take them out of leg prison just to send them right back. Like no, that doesn't help the Gams and it don't help the people who want to see the game.
Of the great Sam Presti quote. When they entered their tank, he said, "When we do get back to the postseason, we want it to be an arrival, not an appearance."
Yeah. Good call. But
not an appearance, man. We here to stay.
The Burks are
flip
not.
side, Goat. The Bulls went to one playoff series for the first time in a long time and won one game and haven't been back since. So there is an argument to be made for appearances being also a thing that exists.
It exists, but nobody
that is as
wants
far
it.
as I would be willing to go on that argument. They do exist.
The opposite of an arrival was the Bulls playoff run in 2022.
I will agree that did happen.
That was
I'll agree it took place.
The Bulls getting back to the playoffs in 22 was Grandpa
Let's agree
Simpson.
on the facts here.
Gift walking in, taking off his hat rack, and I'm out.
Oh my gosh, man.
Fine in the chat saying 59 high tomorrow. Woo!
Ooh.
Tell you what, Burks might come to the office tomorrow.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, man. Nope.
All right.
Still going to be locked up.
Just quickly before we move on to our main topic for the day, which is, of course, the NBA expansion coming and the expansion draft and the Bulls protections. Dave, any thoughts on 3-point shooting stars or dunk contest?
Yes.
I was not particularly moved. Kind of wild that Dame ended up winning on a season where he is sitting out the entire year with a significant injury. Some people were trying to make the argument that the slam dunk contest is back because like there were just like a couple of competent dunks that were kind of entertained. Mm-hmm. I was not all that impressed. And the shooting stars thing, what a mess. I mean, shout out to Ron Harper for some solid sound bites, but that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So the worst thing about the All-Star Weekend was the dunk contest.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. It
Yeah.
was the dunk contest. It was bad. It was terrible. I mean, my man Jay's almost got injured. Like doing it,
my
bro.
God.
That was tough.
Whiplash.
That was tough. Like, yeah, it wasn't good at all. Like, to the point I think I spent a lot more time on the phone than I did watching that dunk contest. Like, it can't be the main event anymore if you're going to keep it. Clearly, the main event is wherever the stars are.
Yeah.
The stars are in the 3-point contest to the point where a man who hasn't played all season said, I'm coming back just for this.
Yeah.
That's star stuff, all right?
Yeah.
So move that to the main event. It's clearly the main event. The shooting thing, look, it's an appetizer. I don't know why it went second, okay? That is clearly a first thing that you do. And then you do a dunk contest, and then you round it off with the 3-point contest right there. I don't know why they won't change this. I don't know why they are so gung-ho on keeping it this way.
Yeah.
But, dude, people want to see the 3-point shot. It's what it is. It's today's NBA. It's where your stars are. You follow the stars, all right? The stars are shooting threes. That's your main event. But the dunk contest, worst thing of the whole weekend for sure.
I think it's just like every great dunk has already been done. Like there's just not a lot of new material there, and it's not a situation where it's like the 3-point contest where it's like how many can you get this time, and then on top of that, yeah, you're just not like the star power is what matters here, and like they aren't putting stars in the dunk contest, or stars don't want to do it for whatever reason, and I think it's because that there just aren't really a lot more dunks that they can do. There's not any upside in it. There's only downside. So. I get it. I don't know if they would move the 3-point contest to being the highlight of the headliner of the night. I think that'd be cool. I don't know if this is just me being like cranky old man, waving fist at cloud.
Cranky goat is my favorite.
I don't know what it was like this year, obviously, but like in the past they've done like the starry extra points ball. Like just go back to like the racks, and maybe you can like add in some deep three or like logo shocks, but like. Yeah. 4 regular balls and a money ball. Like, that's it.
That's it.
Why do we need more than that?
I like the money ball rack where it's just all money balls and stuff like that.
Like they set a new high. It's like, of course, they're adding different ways where it's like you can score more points than ever before.
Yeah,
like, of course you're going to score more points.
You're changing it up, though. You're making it different a little bit.
Did you guys see the screenshot I think that Dame posted where Dame said that him, Clay, Steph, Booker, and somebody else are all like secretly committing to next year?
Great. See what I mean?
That'd be awesome.
That's main event.
I would tune in for that.
Yeah, and look, again, is this all coming back to the players? Like, no offense, no offense. Like, to the format and the entertainment style. It's
about the stars,
and
Joey.
Incentivizing the players. Like, I'm sorry, man. You're incentivized enough. Like, this is your game.
Yes.
This is your legacy. Like,
yes,
you are a part of the logo.
You are the
logo.
Show
up and show out and be the amazing
Preach
star
it.
that you are,
Preach,
and we
Joey
will
C.
cheer for you. Like,
Preach,
this is
Joey
not
C.
difficult. It's not complicated.
And the dunks go, like, honestly, I think it's more of a star thing than it is. There's no more dunks to be done.
Buzelis finished in the comments.
Oh, okay, cool. For me,
like,
it's about the stars, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I would rather watch, I'd rather watch Wemby do windmill dunks than watch somebody I've never barely named.
Right, but I think like Mike in the chat
that,
saying not the same without Mac McClung, and no offense to Mac McClung, 3-time champ. He came up with some pretty impressive new-ish dunks that I don't know if I had seen before until he did them in the dunk contest. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's Mac McClung.
He's like the closest thing that there is in the NBA to a professional dunker, but like what you're talking about is professional dunkers. Those are not NBA stars. So I think the reason why we're not seeing stars doing it is because like there just aren't a lot of I don't think they're as good at dunkers as Mac McClung or some of these like, professional dunkers. All due respect to those guys. They're incredible at what they do. Mac McClung has been great, and he actually has played in the NBA this year.
He has.
So, like, there's that for him. But
it happened.
For me, it's just, it's about the stars. And I just don't think they're going to be – because, like, we saw Jaylen Brown do it recently. Mm-hmm. There's, like, no upside in doing it. He's just going to, like, not complete the dunks or, like, I don't know. It's just – or get embarrassed by Mac McClung. And it's like, well, why would I do that? I don't see these guys really – stepping up. But I do agree that like I'd rather see a dunk that I've already seen completed by a player who's actually like notable than, you know, guys that aren't as notable.
Giannis does a windmill dunk.
Contest. Yeah.
I'm here for it.
50.
You should never take it away either.
Yeah. And if he gets beaten by Matt McClung, just be cool about it.
Like don't
be
take
a star about it. Like let the underdog win. Like these are storylines. Like
don't take the dunk contest away. Like it has to, because you don't know, you can still strike lightning in a bottle and end up with what I think is the greatest dunk contest of all time between Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon. I was
going to say,
it can still happen.
Neither of those players were at their star level of the NBA yet. You know, Zach was still a young Timberwolf. You know, Aaron Gordon was still with Orlando. Hadn't found his success with Denver yet.
Yeah.
But they put out an incredible show because their dunks were all fantastic.
All of them. And first try.
LaVine was going through the legs from the free throw line. Mm-hmm. Windmill from the free throw line. Aaron Gordon went over a mascot and put the ball under both of his legs.
What happened to those hoverboard things? I like those.
Yeah, I did too.
That was a fun element.
Speaking of, that was another idea I saw. I think it was our guy. Shout out to Espo from PHNX. He said, just make the dunk contest mascots. You know?
Yeah.
Just, you know, but okay, what if?
But you take the mascot hat off, and it's
it's the masked singer.
It's like the masked singer
but
with the
basketball
dunk
edition.
William Shatner.
Oh, I think Nick Cannon.
I think if you go mascots, you just go full bore with it. Trampolines allowed.
Oh,
like
okay.
Descending from the rafters allowed.
Okay. Oh,
dunk contest.
Okay, let's. Well,
leaping from the inside of the jumbotron.
Yeah,
from the top of the stadium, a hang glider, and you have to hang glide in.
It's gonna be some life insurance policies handed out, baby.
Maybe there can be like NBA teams represented, and maybe it's the team mascot, or you know, like shout out to the Jesse White Tumblers.
Shout out.
Maybe they as a group go and try to win the dunk contest.
Oh,
like,
that would be cool,
right?
That would be cool. Yeah, but it's star power. Get the stars in there. Make the 3-point contest the main event. Stop playing, y'all. It is the main event. We are clearly here to sit there and watch that. All those stars were in the 3-point contest. Ayo Dosunmu, I'm still on that, should have been in the 3-point contest. I think it's ridiculous that young man was not in the 3-point contest. Don't tell me about shot attempts at all. Dame got none, and he had basically the same as Bobby Portis. I don't want to hear it. He should have been in the 3-point contest, man. The dude is shooting outstanding from 3. He should have been rewarded with a chance to shoot.
Did you or any of your fellow beat members ask Ayo at any point when he was having his hot shooting season before he got traded?
Yeah, we did.
If he was invited?
Exactly what he said. He didn't say he was invited, but he said, I think he kind of said, like, he would be open to it.
He would be open to it?
Because Ayo understands.
But I think what was interesting is that we were asking him, like, do you look – I mean, he's not somebody that's known as a shooter.
No.
Do you look at yourself as someone who's, like, on that level of Con Knippel or Damian Lillard?
Yes.
And he was like, yeah, for sure. So I think that part was cool to see his confidence grow in the way that it has over the last couple of years.
Well, talk your stuff, Ayo Dosunmu.
Oh, dude. All the best to Ayo, of course, as he's continued – like, dude, the NBA world's like, yo – Ayo Dosunmu's good. It's like, yes, NBA Twitter, welcome to the greatness that is Ayo Dosunmu. I think a lot of people were not familiar with his game. But hey, if he wanted to do the 3-point contest and didn't get the invite, perhaps just another useful motivational chip on his quintuply dislocated shoulder.
Ooh. I do agree with Dylan here. That's an interesting idea. What if the dunk contest was changed to a poster dunk contest? You got to dunk on someone.
Is the person you're posterizing allowed to contest? Like, you know,
I think so.
Not just like, because people jump over people in the dunk contest all the time.
What if Wemby is just going to stand there and try to block all your dunk attempts? And whoever dunks on him,
they do shootouts
wins.
in hockey. It's the goalie versus one guy.
I say remove
I feel like
Wemby.
Wemby would be into that.
I say remove Wemby because I would be worried about things happening. Like as far as and then
that's
put
an
in
unnecessary risk.
Put in Taco Fall.
Hey,
do it that way.
And he was there.
Yes, he was
already there,
playing in the celebrity game.
Okay, that's another thing. There's former NBA players in the celebrity game. Come on,
somebody got to shoot.
Isn't it just like a mishmash of celebrities and then like some NBA cast-offs?
Yeah, and some influencers and things like that.
You know her as Tabitha from the CBS show Me, Her, and Ours. Who is this?
Hey, everybody, my knee hurts. That's the catchphrase.
Yes. I did not catch the celebrity game. Was there an actual celebrity involved in it?
There were celebrities in it, for sure. I don't think anybody you would know.
By definition, Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about you
Christopher
with
Nolan
this, though.
was playing center.
As
No, I don't know.
Christopher
I was,
Nolan.
wait, I was like, as in like Hollywood's Christopher Nolan?
Christopher Nolan. It's out of control.
Pacino running the
killing.
point.
Oh, man, Scorsese.
I would love to
at the
watch
three.
Pacino and Scorsese out there.
Screen and roll.
Oh, man.
Pacino, wait, ain't on screen and roll.
We got to knock out another ad break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the NBA's upcoming expansion to 32 teams and the expansion draft, who the Bulls should protect. That is next. The like button is next before the next. It's right there. It's free.
It is.
We'll be right back.
Free. That business. I see it. You want to do it, but you're asking, man, how do I do it? Who's going to help me get this money? How am I get this paper? I understand. One word. Shopify, ladies and gentlemen. You need Shopify. Oh, they are the e-commerce platform behind millions and millions of businesses around the world, and 10% of all e-commerce in the United States of America. That's here. Shopify even powers the CHGO merch store.
Sure does.
Some awesome merch. You need to get it. Shopify's got you covered with website creation, product descriptions, email, social media marketing, and much, much more. They also have, don't be scared, Matt, AI tools designed to help you maximize sales. That didn't hurt, did it? No. But I know what he likes is making that money, and you can do that with Shopify. So turn your big business into cold, hard paper. With Shopify on your side, sign in for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/allcity, shopify.com/allcity.
CHGO Bulls also brought to you by Old National Bank.
Yeah.
Whether it's on the field or the hardwood or in your financial life, the best team wins by delivering excellence at every level. At Old National Bank, they believe every play matters, from everyday checking to long-term planning and commercial banking. Their team is here to build momentum and help you move the ball forward. It all starts with a plan tailored for you by professionals you can trust. From simple tasks to bigger financial moments, you can always count on them to coordinate your needs with steady, knowledgeable guidance that brings clarity and confidence to each and every step. It's a partnership designed to help you feel supported, not just today, but well into the future. So, whether you're celebrating a big win, rebuilding after a tough loss or a few play-in tournaments,
Reset.
or gearing up for whatever comes next, they've got your back with tools, insights, and an expert crew that's always in your corner. Old National Bank, member FDIC, where relationships and results matter. CHGO Bulls podcast rolling along on Tuesday afternoon. Thanks for being here, Bulls Nation. Hit that like button if you didn't do it during the ad break. It's free. Peck, Big Dave, go hanging out with our guy Joey C on the controls. All right, y'all. So Adam Silver addressed it again in his All-Star Weekend press conference, among many other things. Breaking news: he doesn't have a plan to solve tanking yet. It was discussed, but it was like, yeah, we're gonna work on that. Okay. The expansion, I think, is a more interesting topic because I feel like tanking has been talked to death.
Okay.
The league growing by 2 teams and expanding in any capacity for the first time in over 20 years, I think is fascinating. People wonder about the competition level and if it would suffer because there are already plenty of bad teams in the league as it is right now. But I like the idea of adding 2 more cities that I think could be deserving of teams. First and foremost, bring back the frickin' Sonics. Like that is, I think, what I'm most excited about with this whole expansion idea. Yeah. It's still not official which cities, but whispers going around make it seem like Seattle, Las Vegas are the 2 most likely picks for this upcoming expansion, and that there could be an additional expansion beyond that might feature some international teams.
Yeah, at the international side is what I was kind of looking at more than anything, just because of how how Adam Silver has spoken about it. Yeah. And he really wants to be an international team and really wants Mexico City or even in London or, over there. Like, he's trying to grow the NBA to that kind of level. And I'm curious to see how that works. Like, I just want to see how that works. Like, I'm very excited for that. But
how do you do the scheduling?
Yeah, exactly.
The NFL is one thing. You play one game a week.
One game over there, that's very easy. You pick a set of teams. They have time. They have a whole week and all that. Are the teams that's going to stay over there? Like, how do you get 40-plus home games, for them? Like, all that, again, above my pay grade, which is why I just want to sit there and watch and see how it works. But I think you hit it on the head right there, Matt. Like, Seattle. Like, I think all basketball fans or quote-unquote purists want to see it back home with the Seattle Supersonics. Like, I would love to watch that. I hope when it does happen that they bring out Kendall Gill. That would be really cool to bring him out there and just that history of it with Sean
Have
Kemp.
a big old reunion. Kemp, GP, Detlef.
Yeah, Jack Sikma. Like, you
Frank
can go way
Brakowski.
back. Shout out Lenny Wilkins, man. Rest in peace. But, yeah, all that stuff you can get into and will be really cool. I think Vegas is the obvious kind of choice in this matter. Like, everybody's going there. The baseball one is there already getting built.
You already got the Vegas Aces.
Yeah, the Golden Knights there with the NHL. Like, it's there. And football, NFL is there. Yeah, it's the next obvious step for more money. And, that's what it's about. At the end of the day, it is a business, okay? So you got to get this paper. So, yeah, I think those two teams just feel like the right thing, but I just have my eyes go, like, internationally because I can't wait to see what they are really going to do with that.
Quickly, just shout out to Buzelis fan in the chat who said, I don't know, I feel like Chicago could get a team personally. Agree.
That would be amazing.
New York has 2. LA has 2.
Yeah.
Chicago
What
deserves
better
2.
way to put pressure on Madison
Oh, my
than
God.
a second team?
Oh.
I would throw a parade of happy hats if Chicago got another team, and I could
We would
wash
need to
my
start a
hands.
second podcast.
Oh.
Heck yeah.
Double
Or would we
dose.
get
Welcome
I
into
don't know how that would
CHGO fill-in-the-blank team name.
What would they be? Cravens? I don't know.
The CHGO, thank God it's not Jerry's.
What if it was? What if they bought another team?
TGIJ. Or TGINJ.
Oh, my God.
No, I agree with you, Dave. I think the international expansion and probably the next phase of expansion is really interesting. I think it'd be really tough to pull off just because you'd be like moving players abroad to a country where they don't speak the language in a lot of cases. But at the same point, if it is a business, and it is, and if you are trying to expand the game, which they are, like you're getting basically the entire country of Mexico. And Mexico City is like 23 million people, I think. That's just, Chicago's what, like 9 or 12 or something like that? That's like the Chicago. It's a huge audience that's now going to be pulling for one team. Yeah. I just think it's a little bit complicated, but I do think that would be just a really cool and a much easier thing to do in terms of logistics and time zones where it's only, I think, 1 hour east of East Coast time.
Okay.
So it doesn't really change like the settings and the timing of games and things like that as much as a move to London or one of these other European cities would. But it does sound like Seattle and Vegas has been kind of the rumor for a long time. And I think the idea of like incorporating an expansion draft would be really exciting. That'd be something that we'd obviously get to talk a lot about. We're going to do some of that today. But just more stuff, more excitement in the NBA. I will say, I think they need to figure out what they're going to do about tanking and the lottery before they add 2 new teams, because I think you're inherently making that race a little bit more congested.
That's
if
true.
you add 2 more teams that are presumably not going to have the high level talent that you're really going after if you're a tanking or a lottery caliber team.
That's a great point, man.
Shout out to Euro in the chat who said the Chicago Zephyrs are back.
Zephyrs,
Shout out to
baby.
the OG Zephyrs of the early 60s
yes.
before the incarnation of the Chicago Bulls. Of course, Zephyrs became the Baltimore Bullets,
Correct.
who then became the Washington Bullets, who are
Correct.
now, of course, the...
And there was a Chicago Stags
Zards.
as well. Is that right? Isn't that right?
Who?
Chicago Stags, I believe.
And then there was also
Stags
the
existed,
Zephyrs became the Chicago Packers for a year, but I think before they moved to Baltimore.
Yuck.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the Chicago Malorts. I saw that one there. Well done.
That's tough.
Chicago Dogs right there. The Chicago Traffic. That's pretty good, actually.
Hey, man,
Chicago
those
traffic
express
ain't
lanes are back open
Yeah,
again.
baby.
Woo!
For a day.
All right, but so yeah, the whole thing about the tanking issue is interesting, but that is one of the certain rules that exist within the NBA expansion draft, and then the actual league draft that comes shortly on the heels of it. And it's been a minute. Again, as I said, the Charlotte Bobcats of 2004 was the last time the league had any expansion, so it's been over 20 years. So quick refresher, Joey, if you want to pop up to just the bullet points of how protection works when it comes to existing teams and players getting drafted away from them in an expansion draft. Oh, interesting choice of photo there,
I
Joey.
see you, Joey C. I see you.
So, existing teams are allowed to protect up to 8 players on their current roster. Players eligible to be protected are players who are not on expiring contracts, as well as restricted free agents. Teams must expose at least 1 player in the expansion to the expansion draft. Teams may not lose more than 1 player to the expansion draft. So essentially, you got your 15-man roster. You can protect 8 of the players on that roster who are under contract going into the next season after the offseason expansion draft takes place. You can also include in that restricted free agents currently on your roster. So, por ejemplo, with the Bulls right now, Jaden Ivey would fall under category of players you could protect, even though that they will have to, if keep him, protect him, renegotiate with him this summer on an expiring contract.
I think the key here is to understand the timing of it. I don't remember if you said this or not, but we were talking about it before, so it's on my mind. This would take place in between the NBA Finals ending and the NBA draft. So this would be before you make your draft selections. Those players would not be included. You would obviously get to make your rookie draft selections, and those wouldn't be a part of it. But every player who's unrestricted and who doesn't have I guess you could protect team options, player options, and restricted free agents, and players obviously who are under contract. Everybody else wouldn't be on your roster. So in this case, if we're going to do an expansion draft that happens before next season, that's kind of the exercise we're going to do today, where we're looking at the players who are under contract for next year, at the restricted free agents that the Bulls have, and that does not include any of their 4 potential draft picks that they have going into this NBA draft.
Could you speak to maybe I have the right word for this, but the difficulty of figuring this kind of thing out because of the players who aren't truly under contract right now for the Bulls? By the time the expansion draft kind of happens.
Meaning like just the challenge of who you're deciding to keep. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like the obvious, like who are the talented guys that you want to keep around? And then I think where it gets a little bit interesting is if there are contracts on your books that maybe you think is a good player, but you want to clear out some money and you can make that guy potentially available, or just kind of maneuvering around some of the salary cap limitations that teams now have in this new CBA. And then there's also this element of potential trades or negotiations that can take place between teams. A lot of people who have talked about this on various other podcasts have noted that if you wanted to, you could potentially, encourage a team to take a certain player by offering them some draft capital, or the other team could say, here's a pick or here's something that you could have, and we'll take this player that we want a little bit more than the guy who you left unprotected. So there's some negotiation, some gamesmanship that could take place there. But I think ultimately it just comes down to who are the players on your team that you want to keep, who are the players that you're comfortable allowing another team to take, and are there any big contracts that you're hoping to get off your books, and you can expose that player to other teams by keeping them unprotected.
Do you think this way it could force teams to sign players quicker because they kind of want to hold on to them?
So that's part of the just logistics of it, is that because this would take place before the draft, and draft takes place before free agency, you would have to time this years in advance. So you wouldn't be able to just like sign a guy and then protect him, or sign a guy and then another team could take him.
Right.
This would all happen before the draft and before free agency, so that you haven't like filled out your complete roster yet, and that all that other stuff still happens to where you could complete your roster. The other minor note that this is making me remember is that if you have a restricted free agent on your team and you don't protect them, and that player gets selected by another team, he then becomes an unrestricted free agent.
Right. I found that tiny little detail to be interesting. So it basically means like, okay, we picked this player. Now you got to negotiate, but he can field offers from other teams and can be lured away after being chosen in an expansion draft.
And can't go back to
the team he was drafted away from.
Exactly.
Wow.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, maybe that's incentive for teams to not pick those players because they won't have a chance. Or maybe it's, we've got this restricted free agent that we don't really want to feel like we need to re-sign. Here's the second round pick, so you take this guy and he becomes unrestricted, but because we want to protect other guys.
So we can of course continue this conversation after the break, but we got a couple minutes. Why don't we dive into it now? Okay. Joe, if you want to put up that other graphic from Spot Track, by the way, shout out to them for all the great stuff they've done. Keith Smith also has a great article. It's a couple of years old, but about all the expansion draft rules that you can go find fairly easily. So as far as if this were happening for the Bulls right now, their 15-man roster, you're talking about Simon, Sexton, Collins, Richards, and Buzelis being players you could not protect. You see there the little ineligible tag all the way to the right. Players you can't protect because they are impending unrestricted free agents. The 10 players the Bulls could be choosing between to protect 8 of would be guys who have been around: Giddey, Pat, Okoro, Jalen, and Trey. Some of the younger guys like Modest and Noah Essengue, recent draft picks, and then some of the newcomers in their trade deadline acquisitions: Jaden Ivey, Rob Dillingham, and Leonard Miller. So that's 10 that you could protect, those 10 that I just named. And you can only protect 8. So then, of course, the question is, of those 10, who are the 2 that you say, I can open up this player? Because upon first glance, you think Patrick and maybe Leonard Miller. But I saw the version of the screenshot that you sent me had Ivy unprotected and Miller protected.
Yeah, this was a tool that SpotTrack has that you can actually go through and do an expansion draft simulation. We'll get to it on the other side of this break, but that was the pre-selections that I think Keith Smith made for that specific tool. So I didn't make those selections. That's just kind of the assumptions that he was making for the Bulls and for every other team for this specific tool.
Gotcha. All right, we got to knock out our last ad break. When we come back on the other side, more thoughts on this, including maybe some dark horse candidates of guys the Bulls wouldn't protect on this current iteration they have. Hit that like button. It's free. We'll be right back.
You want to feel better, but you want to keep it to yourself. You don't want to tell nobody, oh, people are going to make fun of me and do stuff like that. They ain't going to make fun of you when you can't come out and hang out because you feel terrible. All right? You want to feel better. So if you want to feel better, you go see the awesome people at Game Day Men's Health. Whether it's peak performance or becoming a better father, better husband, or a better man, Game Day Men's Health wants to support every man's health journey through personalized care that are tailored to your goals. Very quick and easy process, y'all. You'll be in and out in about an hour. Personal care, family, locally owned clinics, extremely high success rate. You can feel better, y'all. They got testosterone. They got vitamin supplements. They got weight loss, hair loss treatments, man. So even if you're starting at the age 27 and up, don't matter. Come on in. They'll get you right. So you can start your best life with Game Day Men's Health. You can check out those locations in Skokie, Naperville, Libertyville, or more, or scan that QR code to find the one closest to you. Go to GameDayCHGO.com to find the location closest to you.
CHGO Bulls also brought to you by Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. And right now is your chance to score a great deal at the Auto Show Sales Event. Head to Ray CDJR on Route 12 today to choose from their huge inventory of new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram models. And right now, you can get 0% financing for 72 months on new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram models, plus over shopping 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. With a friendly team of brand experts, the team at Ray is here to help you during each step of your car shopping journey. And with that raised price promise, you know you can shop confidently with no add-ons and no hidden fees of any kind ever. The price you see is the price you pay. That's the promise. So go check out our partner today to shop one of Chicago's largest inventories and find the right new vehicle for you. The team at Ray is the only one we recommend. Don't miss out on the Auto Show Sales Event for huge savings on new models. For more info, visit RayCDJR.com or Ray CDJR on Route 12 in Fox Lake. They've been serving the community since 1963.
Bleacher Report.
CHGO Bulls continues on Tuesday afternoon, talking NBA expansion draft and protections on players for our beloved Bulls. Other interesting detail or wrinkle from this Keith Smith write-up from 2023 on SpotTrack, NBA teams would be given a deadline to submit protected player lists in advance of the expansion draft, likely somewhere in the range of a week before the expansion draft is held. Okay. To the best of our exhaustive research and knowledge, Keith Smith wrote, this info, both the deadlines and the lists themselves, have not and will not be made public. Some partial lists exist, but the NBA has never made them publicly available. So there is some secrecy involved.
Shams would have some work to do on that one.
No kidding. As opposed to draft night picks coming in from Shams on Twitter before they're announced on the broadcast. Here's all the picks. Here's all the players that were protected. But so when it comes to the Bulls specifically, and shout out, by the way, I think we had a super chat from Modest fan in the chat saying, protect Modest. We protect no one but Modest. They can even take Billy Donovan. Appreciate the super chat. I don't think you can draft coaches in the expansion draft.
It's true. You should be able to, though.
Why not? You know?
Yeah. Let's make it fun.
Honestly, that was my question. I was like, who on this roster right now is a lock of, you got 8 picks. Who are the first few names immediately who you say they have one of those 8 slots? Because to me, right now, and prepare yourselves, certain fans, the list is Modest, Buzelis, Noah Essengue, end of list.
Okay.
I do not like or believe in anybody else on this roster enough right now, or at least with Noah. Hey, you invested in a 12th overall pick in this kid. He had an unfortunate injury-related redshirt rookie year. I'm not ready to throw in the towel on him. Nobody else on this team I am like scrambling to protect. And that's just my honest assessment of where this team is and this roster is right now.
A notable omission there, my friend. Anybody you'd like to
Patrick Williams?
to bring up, or just go as we go through it?
Yeah, no, I notably excluded Josh Giddey. Sorry, not sorry. Yes, he's under contract for a while longer.
He is.
I think there is a significant faction of fans who believe that it is a team-friendly contract that Giddey is on based on his production.
Yeah.
And you could make the argument that when you're talking about protecting players, even if you don't see them on your team for a long time into the future as your team's trying to be competitive, that at least they hold some sort of trade value, so protect them so you don't lose them for nothing in an expansion draft, so to speak. I hear that argument. I would counter that argument by saying I don't think Josh Giddey's player and contract collectively would have much on the trade market in the foreseeable future.
Okay.
And I'm sorry that opinion upsets some people, but I don't see the Bulls getting a haul for Josh Giddey or much for Josh Giddey. Let's remember, by the way, who is negotiating trades on behalf of the Chicago Bulls.
Sweet Lord.
We just endured the trade deadline together. That was rough. I don't even think you'd be losing much if you're like, don't protect him. He gets chosen. Well, I don't think you're getting much for him if you did want to trade him. So yeah, that's where I am right now.
Okay.
With these protections, maybe you could say I would maybe hang on to Trey Jones because you might be able to get something for him in a trade down the line if you decide to move on from him because you got 18 million guards. Mm-hmm. That's where my list ends.
A lot of saw those trades saying, yeah, Giddey can definitely go. I would protect Giddey. I would. If I'm just talking about me and what the Bulls would do, they're absolutely going to do it. I would protect him. I would protect Modest. Yes, Essengue. Honestly, because this, regardless of how we feel about it, it's the core that's being built here. That's what they want. It's what they want to do. So, unfortunately, you got to see that vision through for them. I'm not against anything you just said. You just put that for the record. I'm not against. I think his point is well articulated, to be honest with you. But I would absolutely put Giddey on the list of people I'm saving. And Modest Buzelis is getting saved, and Noah Essengue is getting saved, and Trey Jones is on that list as well.
Okoro,
okay.
You say Jalen Smith?
I did not.
Oh, you know what? I would also, like, assuming this, expansion draft happens, obviously not this summer, but next summer, and he's still got a year of his rookie deal left, I would protect Dillingham. Again, that depends on what we see from him over these final 27 games and assuming he's here for next season.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking him when I was talking. Like, maybe Dillingham I would throw a protection on also as well for what you're saying. Because I think if we're going to do this, you have to be thinking about future guys and guys who you hope will be able to lead your future and, be better for the Chicago Bulls. So those young guys and those guys who are shoring up your core, quote unquote core, then I'm definitely looking at that. So yeah, give me Dillingham. I protect him also as well. But the older guys, the vet, like you mentioned Jalen Smith, like I'll be okay. I think I'll be fine. If he ended up in there, I wouldn't, cry a river over it. To be fair, I don't think there's any player on. I think I would do that over. But, yeah, man, I think those players and maybe a couple more that I'll have to, think about, I would go ahead and put that on. Now, Jaden Ivey is the interesting one to me because he is what they hope is a part of their young core. Also, Colin Sexton, no protections on him either. But he is someone that you want to be part of your young core, and you want to be that guy, basically your two-guard. Of the future kind of player, and you hope he grows. So do you put that protection on him? Which means if you do that, you're telling him you're signing him. Mm-hmm. That's what that means. It would have already occurred, honestly, in this draft beforehand. So he's somebody that's real interesting because we haven't seen greatness or things that says, you know what? Yeah, let's protect that. Let's hold on to that. Let's do something with that right here. Still plenty of time left to figure that stuff out. So I feel he's the most interesting piece in this kind of discussion right here because I feel like everybody else is a little more clear-cut as far as whether you're keeping them or whether you're not keeping them. But Jaden Ivey is kind of in that middle right now. He's the guy you say we got to see a little bit more first before I know exactly which way that we should lane.
Joey, can you throw the graphic up one more time for me just so I
Toss
can
it
kind
up.
of look through it as I talk through it? Because I think if you're talking about the specific locks, I would go Modest, Noah for sure. I do think you make a good point about Giddey, Matt, just in terms of like what we were talking about earlier, Dave, where it's like gaming the contracts.
Yeah.
And like seeing if you want to get those off the books. I do think that there is an argument that Giddey is both playing up to the level that he was paid, but also that there's not probably a line of teams that are ready to knock the Bulls' door down and go trade positive value for him.
Who were the Bulls competing against for his services in free agency a year ago, by the way?
Well,
Can
part
we
of
all
that
remember?
part of that
was
was
it
I
nobody?
think the Bulls
Okay,
were
great,
willing
thanks.
to pay him more than the rest of the market was. And so that's why I think both things can be true, that he can be a talented player that's good, but also not somebody that is, a commodity in the marketplace. Now, I think the reason to take him, two reasons to take him. One is that you like him and you want him to be a core piece of what you're doing, as is the case for the Bulls. And number two is because his contract is flat and because presumably he will continue to improve as a 23-year-old, that he might become more valuable relative to his contract later on in his deal. And so because that may gain more upside over the course of his deal, it's $25 million a year flat. There's not ascending, it's not an ascending contract. So relative to the cap, it is going to be going down in value. I think that there's an argument to be made that he could become more valuable. So I would probably keep him, although I do hear your point. So that's Giddey, Modest, Essengue. I think you probably protect Jaden Ivey just because like there's potential there. So that's that's 4. And the restricted thing, it just doesn't really make sense. And then you have 4 more spots, right? Giddey, Modest, Noah, Ivey. You have 4 more spots between Patrick Williams, Isaac Okoro, Jalen Smith, Trey Jones, Rob Dillingham is 5, and then Leonard Miller is 6. So I think I would want to, I don't think it's like a huge deal to protect Leonard Miller or not, but he's the cheapest player on the team. He's under contract. Like, why not? As a 15th man, you could be doing a lot worse. I think Dillingham, you probably want to protect because there's upside there. Trey Jones, I think, is a valuable asset and a good player. Jalen Smith, same thing. I think he's a good player. They could potentially flip into something. I think Patrick is the obvious one that you don't protect just because of how long and big the contract is. And if you are in a situation where you can maybe force another team to take him by leaving him as your one unprotected player, that could bode well for the Bulls. And then Okoro, I think is a solid player. I feel like if you want to create more cap space, you could leave him unprotected. But I could also see an argument for protecting him as well. So I think it comes down to Okoro, Leonard Miller for that final spot, assuming Patrick is the one that you're basically making a lock to be.
And the other wrinkle to that is, you can't protect a draft pick of the same year where the draft is happening and the expansion draft just happened, obviously, because expansion draft happens, then draft happens. But if we're talking about expansion happening as soon as 2027, then one of those names, I would assume, has to be the Bulls' first-round pick from this upcoming draft class of 2026.
It dramatically changes because
it
you
changes
also have
the
different players
decision
under roster.
And the number of so now you're talking about protecting 7, not 8 of the guys that we have in front of us right now, because you would assume whether that is a top 4 pick, please for the love of God, or somewhere in the 9 to 12 range, because Bulls. Either way, you're probably looking at that as a piece that you are planning on protecting because it is a rookie scale contract and hopefully a quality young player that you just added to your core.
And that's where the value of the asset becomes a big deal in this too, is that you want to keep the guys that are on team-friendly long-term contracts and you want to open up the guys that are on less palatable deals for your team. But I think it's a good point to mention that this is not going to happen this summer. At earliest, it would be next summer, and I don't even think that's going to be the case. But next year, you only have 6 players under roster right now. Obviously, whatever free agent signings and draft picks you make, that will change it. But the calculus changes year to year of who you want. Like in 2 years, you're not going to be able to protect Trey Jones or Jalen Smith or Isaac Okoro because unless the Bulls re-sign them. So I think that's a factor too of just who do you actually want to be here long term, and who are the players whose contracts you want to be long term as well. Those are almost 2 different questions, but I think that's what the NBA is turning into, at least in terms of the market and CBA, just with how restrictive and how challenging team building can be.
Matt, just to poke at you just for 1 second. when we're talking about the age of the young guys, and basically being the reason you would hold on to a lot of these guys because of the future, that doesn't factor into your thinking about not keeping Josh Giddey with him being, just 23.
Wait, say that again.
About the age.
The age factor.
About that being a factor because we're talking about the future of the team and guys you would, want to protect because of that age that they are. We're talking about 19-year-old Essengue. We're talking about 21-year-old Buzelis. Like the oldest
Dillingham,
person, the oldest person is like Trey Jones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here. So that doesn't factor into what you're saying at all?
Given that, Josh is 23?
23 years
quote,
old.
unquote, only 23?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No. Again, I'm sorry that my opinion of this dude and his basketball skills offends so many people, but I think that Josh Giddey is pretty much the Josh Giddey that we're going to see. The one that we saw last season, the one that we saw for the healthy parts of his season this season. It's the same dude.
Okay.
I don't think he is a better three-point shooter than I thought he would be when they made the trade.
Absolutely.
A year and a half ago.
Without a doubt.
He has done that. And I will credit him for that. Otherwise, 23-year-old Josh Giddey and 28-year-old Josh Giddey, I think, and I could be wrong about this, I think are going to end up looking a lot like the same player.
Okay.
So to me, it doesn't move the needle in any way about protections on a player based on their age. Because while some Bulls fans are fully, allowed to have the right to believe that we've only seen the tip of the iceberg with Josh Giddey and what he's capable of in this league. I hear that phrase a lot. Shout out to our pal David Lithgow. He's not the only one who believes that about Josh, and that's fine. I don't. So, sorry, not sorry. I don't. I think that, 19, 8.5, cool. Do it on a team that makes a deep playoff run, and then maybe I'll believe differently about your capabilities as a player who can be a player you build a franchise around.
Isn't the question, just really quick with Josh Giddey, more about not his age or his talent? It's just about what his role is in all of this. Do you believe that with his usage rate and all the triple doubles, which we see in the chat all the time, do you think that's going to equal wins on the biggest stage and deep in the playoffs? Do you believe that as this team matures, a 26, 27, 28-year-old Josh Giddey maybe could evolve into a different role that isn't the lead ball handler? Can he play a different role in this team where maybe he's the third best player on this team? Would he accept that? Would he be okay with that? The train that we're on right now is that give the ball to Josh and let him figure it all out. That's the question is, do you think that if you gave Josh the ball and figured it out, is that the best path for the Bulls to have sustained success? More than, is he good or not?
It's a fascinating question, and Travis in the chat saying something similar. The beauty of Giddey's game is he doesn't need to be the first or even second scoring option.
True.
I think the key word there is scoring option. And you're right, he doesn't need to be the first or second scoring option, but I do think that when you take the ball out of Josh Giddey's hands, you make Josh Giddey a heck of a lot less effective. Even as he has shown us for a season and change now, that he can be, to some degree, a reliable floor spacer when he's playing off the ball. Again, credit to him for that.
I think, just real quick, I think that a lot of times guys kind of become who they are after a couple of years in the league. This is, I believe, year 5 for Josh. So I do think that he is kind of in the realm of where he's going to end up being. Now, I think there are a couple of key areas where that I can still see real room for growth for him that could really raise his level. Somebody in the chat brought up Denny Avdia, who I think is a good example of a guy who, but to me, Jimmy Butler, those kind of players are outlier cases where you're evolving at age 25 past where I think a lot of players tend to get. But I think Giddey has really improved his shooting to where you can't really leave him anymore, or if you do, that it's going to probably end up in him making the shot. I don't know if that translates into the postseason, but from what we've seen over the last year and a half, or really just last year, he has really improved his jump shot, and I think that's a real key. I think the next thing for him is to work on the off the dribble shooting. That's going to really open some things up and maybe force teams to go over on screens. That's going to open up his passing and driving. Defense is going to have to be a big one. He's a smart enough player that he can learn how to be an effective defensive player away from the ball, generate more steals, blocks, and just use his length to his advantage and IQ to his advantage. I think the biggest one, though, is he's just going to have to put on way more strength and muscle and play with more physicality. He has gotten a lot better at that. I think there's probably another level or even 2 that he can get to there just by growing into his body more, working out more, getting into an NBA system for longer. I think that stuff will push him that direction just by nature of like experience.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's all about, can he drive through contact, finish at the rim? Like if he can just do that relentlessly, obviously he's not going to turn into Giannis, but I mean, Denny's a great example. That dude is at the free throw line 9 times a game.
For
like,
real.
And that totally changed who he is as a player.
Yeah.
If Giddey can do that and he's gotten up to 5'6", I think that's huge improvement.
Yes.
But he needs to take it to another level, or maybe even 2, to really turn into, because I don't know what the answer is if he's not the number 1 scorer. And so I almost think you have to bank on him becoming the number 1 scorer because he needs the ball in his hand so much. And when he doesn't have that, he can be a liability at times, whether it's the shooting or the defense. I think putting him in a situation where he is going to be the number 1 guy and letting him grow into that role, I think the physicality, driving, finishing, that's what can take his game up to another level, because I don't know that you can be a number 1 usage guy if you're not averaging 25. Like, and it's not just like 20, like he's averaging 19, 20. That's a lot. That's great. That's an improvement. I think it needs to be 25, 30 for him to have the ball as much as he has.
Yeah.
And to me, the way you can do that is not just by improving your shooting, but it's by getting to the free throw line relentlessly.
Yes.
And I think that's really going to change. One, it's going to open up more of his passing ability, because we know he's a better passer than Denny Avdia or Jimmy Butler, players like that who have really improved as foul drawers. That's the key to unlocking his scoring. And I think that's unlocking his scoring is the key to turning him into the kind of player that you really can build a winner around.
Agree with that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Dave, you've been harping on that, a lot this season.
Yeah,
Whether, not just about Montes, but about getting the free throw line. And when he left, when Giddey left the lineup and the Bulls were struggling offensively, it wasn't just about the lack of Giddey keeping that ball moving and pushing that tempo offensively. It was about losing Giddey's free throw attempts, and he had been doing a respectable job in that regard.
Because they don't have a lot of players who attack.
Yeah.
Like that. And Giddey is attack mode consistently.
Guess what? Now you got 2 fewer with Kobe and I.
You know what I mean? Right. Exactly. So, and he's attack mode consistently when he's out there on the floor. So, and great examples of when those lulls start happening. Giddey is putting his head down and trying to get to the bucket and make something happen for the team. He should. I don't know what he needs to do to get more fouls called for him when he's doing that. I think it's when he gets to the paint, sometimes it doesn't look like he's going up for the shot. Sometimes look like he's trying to kick it out, sometimes trying to pass it. But maybe you could talk to some guys who are really good at drawing those fouls and showing the ref, like, hey, this guy's fouling me. Like you mentioned Jimmy Butler. He can speak to someone like that for sure. Or, of course, the king, James Harden, things like that. But the reason I say Jimmy is because Jimmy goes inside and gets his fouls called that way. That's how Jimmy does. It's not he's standing out there on the perimeter pump faking to death or crossing people over. No, he's physical. And Goat is right. Like, he's got to get more physical, a little more tougher with that, because I think that would absolutely elevate his game, because he's showing you how he wants to play. He wants to be the dude that's driving inside, putting his head down, trying to go up and score, or even go up and pass. So to do that for that long, at least 65 games of the season, you got to be a little stronger to, take on that kind of punishment. Because now with this team and how it is, it's a lot more is on him. I said this before the season started when he signed the contract. A lot of this is on him. Mal is definitely on him. They've traded everybody. It's on you. It's your team, so you can do with it as you want. Your usage rate will go even higher now through the roof. So the points will be there. We get that. The assists and rebounds, those things will be there. But is it impacting the winning? And I feel the way you impact the winning is by getting to that free throw line and slowing stuff down for the other team. For me, that's defense. When you can slow the team down, because you're taking your time at the foul line, getting everything reacclimated and everything reset. So now you can set up your defense that way and be prepared for whatever the team is bringing. Those are the things you can do within your game that you can control. And I think Josh Giddey, once he gets into that, man, once those free throws really, really, really start coming for him, 25 to 30 points, like for real. Like he could really be averaging that kind of thing.
And then the last one is just the turnovers. Like, you got to cut those down.
Yeah, bro, them turnovers got to go.
But I think by scoring more, you're passing less, and by passing less, it's less turnovers.
But you can do both. Like, it's been proven, with a lot of these guards, you can score and assist. And I feel like Giddey is that kind of guard where he can absolutely do both of scoring and assisting. But it's going to have to be fast-paced as Billy wants it, for sure. And he's going to have to be attacking, like attack, and attack some more, and then attack again. And then attack again after that.
And then one more time?
And one more time.
All right. We will pause the conversation there for today. Glad to be back, Bulls Nation. Happy to have y'all back in the chat. Missed y'all.
Yeah.
Bulls Nation.
That's true.
Hope everybody enjoyed All-Star break. We did. We are back. We have another live pod coming tomorrow, 4:30 Central Time, to carry the bridge into Bulls back in action against the Raptors on Thursday night. Mm-hmm. In the meantime, follow GOAT, Will_Gottlieb. Read his stuff, allchgo.com.
Read it.
Become a diehard with promo code GOAT at sign up to take advantage of that diehard offer for your first year to read all of his great stuff. That is for diehards only. Big Day, bow, BWL Sports. I'm Bulls_Peck. We are CHGO_Bulls. Shout out to our guy, Joey C. On them controls. Tune in to CHGO Cubs. We're getting closer. Sox, Cubs, Friday?
So close.
So close?
Yep. First spring training game this Friday.
Boom.
Summer right after that.
There you
Immediately
go.
after that.
Yeah.
30 minutes after that.
Right after that. And then one more after that. Follow our guy, Joey Sports Guy, on the Twitter machine. We will talk to you tomorrow, 4:30 Central, with another live pod. Have a great Tuesday night. See you, Rep. Be good.
Rest in love to the Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson, and rest in love to Bill Donovan Sr.
Senior. Shout out. Happy birthday, GOAT.
We all silly like the mayor.